Hello and welcome to class number 3 of this UPSC Mains answer writing initiative. Thank you so much everyone. Those who attended the first two classes, I have also gotten a lot of answers on my email ID. I have checked many of them. I have given you feedback. Others, those who have still not gotten their chat copies, you will get them very soon. As you know, this is an initiative where we decode previous year papers of UPSC, see one question at one single point of time, see the structure of the answer, what to write, how to write, what points to include, and then at the end of it, I also give you a homework to make sure that you also practice at least one question a day. If you want, you can practice more questions as well. If you have still not seen the first two classes, please do that. The link for the playlist, the entire playlist is given in the description of this video, so you can go ahead and check that out as well. Also, become a part of my Telegram channel where I will be sharing all these PDF of the lectures that we do. So make sure you click on the link of the Telegram channel that is given again in the description of this video. Now, in the very first class of this initiative that I did, we discussed exactly how has the answer to be written, what should be the structure of the answer. We discuss about the introduction part, we discuss about the main body part, and then we discuss about the conclusion part as well. I hope most of you are clear about that now. Introduction part has to be definition or a fact, and the main body part comes in, and then the concluding argument or the way forward. If you still have any doubt about that, you still don't have clarity over that, please see the first video of this series. I will give you the link of the playlist in the description of the video. Click there, see the first 10-12 minutes, and you will get to know what exactly is the structure of the answer. So now let's see what is the question that we are taking up today. In the first class we took a question from GS1, in second class we took a question from GS2. So now I am taking a question from GS3 from 2023 question paper itself. The question is right in front of you. Faster economic growth requires increased share of manufacturing sector in the GDP, particularly of the MSMEs. Comment on the present policies of the government in this regard. Now, I keep on saying every single time that there are some common repetitive themes from the side of the government which will always appear in the examination every single year. There are some questions that keep on repeating in different forms. For example, manufacturing is one of those questions. Floods is one of those questions. Then there are always questions about, let's say, inflation. There are always questions about the problem of unemployment. There are questions in different ways about the problems of suicide, questions about farmer distress. There are 10-12 themes which are repeatedly seen in the mains answer writing. So if you are sure and you have identified those themes, it is very easy to answer those questions because you can get your answer prepared beforehand. So the question is that India's growth requires manufacturing, and for manufacturing we require to give a push to MSME. So now comment on the policies of the government in this regard. Now one thing here that you have to understand, the question says comment on the policies in this regard. Now this regard doesn't mean only MSME. In this regard means talk about manufacturing, because the question is not just about MSME. One mistake that people can do in this question, one error that people can commit in this question, that you only focus on MSME. That in the main body you only read about the MSME sector, government initiatives in MSME sector. No. You have to focus on the MSME sector. There is no doubt about that. But you also have to focus on the manufacturing part. So focus on the government initiative in the manufacturing sector and specifically on the MSME sector. Now, the interesting part is, this is an easy question to answer if you were following current affairs. I'll tell you why. A few months ago, there was an entire article on the PIB on this exact question. See this PIB article. This is on 7th of August 2023. On 7th of August 2023, the PIB carried this article. The heading is Role of MSME Sector in the Country. It is filled up with facts, filled up with all the data, everything that you require to write in this answer. This is again a significant step to understand the role of current affairs, role of especially government websites such as the PIB. The same article tells you these initiatives taken by the government of India. So if you just copy paste this entire article, the second part of this, you have half of your answer ready. So see how easy it becomes if you are well aware of the things that are being published. The question specifically asks you the government initiatives in this regard. The PIB article exactly tells you point wise that too. What are the initiatives? So you can do that. Now let's see how can we write in our own language. So we'll start with the introduction. And I've told you multiple times now, introduction has to be either a fact or a definition. So now what fact? Either you can go ahead with a fact. Fact, for example, can be the portion that MSME has in India's GDP, or the portion of manufacturing in India's GDP, something like that, that this percentage of India's GDP comes from manufacturing and this percentage of manufacturing comes from MSME. Something like this can be a very good beginning if you have those facts. If you don't have those facts, maybe you can give definition of what is MSME. You can define micro, small, medium enterprises, what exactly are they. So you have multiple options here again to write this introduction part. Either go with a fact. Fact should be based on these data, these numbers as I have given you, or the definition part, definition of the MSME. This is your choice depending upon what you remember, what you are confident about on the day of the examination. But again, introduction has to be either of the two, either a fact or a definition. Easy one. Now we go to the main body. Now in the main body, there are three parts that I have written. Three parts. I'll tell you what those three parts are. First part, I have talked about what is the significance of MSME in India, because the question was about that. The role that the MSME play. Second part, I will be talking about the government initiatives in manufacturing sector, not just MSME, but in manufacturing sector. And in the third part, I will be talking about initiatives, especially for MSMEs. So these are the three things to cover the entire question, because read the question once again. See the question. The question says, first statement is, faster economic growth requires increased share of the manufacturing, particularly of the MSME. So to cater to the first statement, I am writing significance of MSME, number one. To cater to the second part, comment on government policies, I am writing number one, government initiatives for manufacturing, and number two, government initiatives on MSME. So I am covering all these three parts in my main body. So I first start with significance of MSME. Again, it will be a fact-based thing, lot of data. It contributes 29% to our GDP, contributes half of India's total exports, 1/3 of our manufacturing, etc. Now, I know it is not possible for you to remember all these data points on the day of the exam. I know that. I don't even expect you to remember each and every point. But again, as I said, you have to be smart here. Understand that there are some themes that are repeated time and time again in the mains exams. And when you understand what are those themes, what are those topics that will keep on repeating, you have to get that data ready with you in a small piece of paper or a small diary so that you can revise it every single time. MSME, manufacturing, GDP growth is one of those topics that keep on getting repeated. So you should be aware of this updated data. So I've written about the significance of MSME sector. Second part, I will write government initiatives in the field of manufacturing. As I said earlier as well, give examples. As many examples as possible. So I give examples of Make in India initiative, Industrial Corridor program, Ease of Doing Business, PM Gati Shakti program. There are many others that you can write. For example, single window clearance that the government is trying to initiate. All these are government initiatives. Now this is not one specific list that you have to stick by. You can go ahead and write your own example, but this is again how you can give the government initiatives in the field of manufacturing. And then the third part in the main body, I focus on specifically MSME related initiatives. Again, there can be a very long list. You are free to include whichever points you want. I have written 4 points from my view at that point of time. the Udyami Mitra portal, the MSME Sambandh, then I talked about Datal MSME scheme. All these are something that you can write. MSME Samadhan. If you go back to the PIB article here, there are many other initiatives that have been given here, like the launch of the Champions portal, non-tax benefits extended for 3 more years, launch of the Udyam Assist program or platform. A lot of these initiatives can be written, but I have written from my own point of view what I remembered at that point of time. This what concludes my main body, and then I'll come to concluding part. I told you earlier as well, conclusion part can either be a conclusion that is a summary of what you have written or a way forward. Way forward would usually be in the cases wherein you think that a problem has been asked. So when a problem statement has been asked, go ahead with the way forward. When a problem statement has not been asked, you can just summarize whatever you have written. So I would like to summarize this. That is, the MSME accounts for about 8% of our GDP, plays an important role in our export and manufacturing, and thus it is important for the government to give it a boost through policies. This is how you can wrap up with this particular answer. Again, if you want to take help of online data while practicing questions, please do that. I have been repeatedly telling you. This is a homework from my side to you. This was a question asked in the GS3 paper 2023. Again, the question is, dam failures are always catastrophic, especially on the downstream side, resulting in a colossal loss of life and property. Analyze the various causes of dam failures, give 2 examples of large dam failures. So again, try and write this in 200 words with the proper structure. It was a question asked just last year, 2023. If you want to take help online by searching some examples, if you don't remember examples, please do that. Don't worry about that. Right now our focus has to be to get you into the mode of creating a proper structure, even if you don't have enough content. The reason is, the more you read, you will automatically keep on gathering more content. Please don't worry about the fact that I don't have enough content to write. You will automatically have more content to write as you read more and more and more. So don't worry about that. For now, the focus has to be on making a particular structure. If you want me to check your answers, mail here and I'll send you a feedback positively. Also, if you've still not subscribed to my channel, please do that. There are many initiatives going on. We just started today the initiative of quick revision for UPSC Prelims 2024. If you're someone who's writing the prelims this year on 16th of June, please watch that 40 lecture series. It started today at 6 p.m. every single day. You'll have a video at 6 p.m. where we will be discussing important current affairs of the past 12 months. It's very, very important, easy for you to revise. Thank you so much. Have a good day ahead. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.